Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I have a very special pattern to show you guys, brought to you by one of our subscribers named Eddie. You see, Eddie sent me a screenshot comparing the 2015 pre-bull market to the 2019 market, and there are a lot of striking similarities. For one, as you can see, there have been a double top, one top right here in March of 2015 and another top right here in July of 15. Then in 2019, we have a top in October and then a top in February. But it goes a lot deeper than that because both of these markets follow the exact same golden and death cross structure. Both of them have what we presume to be a death cross fake out, and both of them precede just a little bit before a halving event. And if the theory that I'm about to present to you is correct, they both preceded a bull market. You will remember the last bull market because it was the one that lasted for 2 years and brought about a 10,000% return. In this video, we're going to be going into depth about this theory and whether or not it is actually correct in its prediction that a bull market is coming this year, right around the halving, which is about 25 days away. If you guys do enjoy today's video, consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. But before we dive on into it, one more thing. You guys have been really enjoying CT2A lately. If you want to learn how to do the kind of technical analysis that we're going to be doing in today's video, I highly recommend checking out the Academy in the description down below. The coupon code is right over there, and that'll give you $40 off at checkout. Check us out at the link in the description down below. More on that at the end of the video, but for now though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I will tell you, there is no better way to start the morning than with a cup of coffee. I know I preach it a lot. If you guys don't already drink coffee in the morning, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You just, look, I get to be the boss lady because okay, I'm done. I love that mug. Every time I show that mug on camera, someone's like, "You got something to tell us, Jeb?" No, it was a gift. Hold your horses. Anyway, guys, over the last couple of days, I've been calling for a break to the downside and a move down to around $5,000 to $6,000. And I want to point something out. We actually broke our support level last night, but we didn't break it for very long. We pulled back down to a bottom of around $6,500. And we actually bounced very quickly. Notice that. That's very important. What I've been saying this entire time, guys, is that essentially I believe we're going to end up somewhere in a range between $5,000 and $8,000. We're going to rally a little bit, but we're probably not going to rally above $8,000, or we'll fall all the way down to $5,000. We might do one first, or we might do the other first. I'll be honest with you guys, I thought if Bitcoin broke that level of support, it would have broken it with quite a bit more exuberance, but as you can see, our MACD is actually diverging bullish now, which is not what we expected to happen, and really not what the technicals and the fundamentals were showing. By the way, when I say fundamentals, I mean geopolitical fundamentals. I don't mean Bitcoin's fundamentals. We're going to get to those fundamentals when we talk about the halving and stock to flow and everything here in a second. I want to bring your attention to something that we talked about in a previous video, which was the Ethereum over US dollar chart. I mentioned how on this chart, we at one point saw a consolidation pattern back in April of 2018. Ethereum was going into a consolidation pattern right here. It broke bullish, but only briefly, and then it fell to the downside because, in fact, it looked like the bulls were in control, but actually the bears were. And I think we just saw something to the inverse effect in Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin get to the end of its consolidation pattern here, and it did have a breakout, but not the one that we necessarily expect. We saw Bitcoin break to the downside, but it was like, nope. The bulls are pretty strong right now, and they actually bought us back up above where we started, which means that I was mostly wrong in my assumptions yesterday that the bears were stronger. Either that or the bulls or a whale or something came in at the last minute and bought Bitcoin up. Fact of the matter is, even though on the, we're talking short term here, on the medium term, I still think the bears are a little bit stronger. On the short term, it seems to me that the bulls have taken back some of the initiative. Note, however, that we set a lower low and we did not set a higher high. We set a lower high and a lower low. This little rally that we saw last night does look good to me, but at the same time, remember that we need to look just a little bit longer than the last 24 hours. Let's look at the last 24 days. What has Bitcoin been doing for this month? We've been setting consistent lower highs and consistent lower lows. Bitcoin may have had one little jump to the upside, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. That doesn't mean necessarily that the price targets we talked about were completely wrong. It means we need to continue watching the market and seeing what's happening. If Bitcoin starts setting higher highs up here, then that's something to talk about. Until then, I'm still skeptical because Bitcoin literally got resistance and rejected exactly at the same high as before, and on the candle bodies, it looks like we set a lower high. Moving right along here, guys, let's go ahead and get to the theory that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. Like I said, Eddie mentioned this on Discord to me, and he will have a pinned comment in the description down below so that he can take credit for it. I told him to put that comment there, so don't go down there and be like, "Oh, Eddie, you're just trying to seek attention." I told him to put the comment there, so be quiet, haters. Guys, essentially what Eddie did here is he combined golden and death crosses with market structure, which is a great thing to do. In the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, we talk about how to spot a winning indicator and pattern. And one of the ways you can do that is by looking at what a lot of people have looked at also, because that means people are probably going to be trading by it. Or you can also look at things that have historical relevance. And looking at market structure is a great way of doing that. One of the things we also talk about in CT2A is combining different pieces of technical analysis to find your own patterns. That's what we also talk about in that video. What Eddie did, like I said, is he combined golden and death crosses, part of the theory here in CT2A, with market structure, something we talked about a few videos earlier in the course. And he found something really interesting. He saw that there was a double top here in the last couple of months, ever since about October of 2019 going on to February of 2020. There were two tops, both of them topping out around $10,000. Then he saw the exact same thing happen over here in 2015, where he saw, hey, there's a top right here in March of 2015, and there's a top right here in July of 2015. This little cup shape right here looks very similar to the one that we're seeing right over here. And then what he also saw is that following the second cup, there was a massive jump to the downside, a very, very quick capitulation. Well, let's compare that to the previous market. Bitcoin had started to go into a little bit of a downtrend following a golden cross, which I'll show you in just a second. Following a golden cross, the market had just started going into a downtrend, fell off the metaphorical cliff, and then started rallying nice and slowly. Where did we see that happen? Oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. Bitcoin is having a little bit of a kind of slow uptrend rally following a massive capitulation candle, following a fake out golden cross. By the way, I'm going to add something onto his theory that he didn't mention, but I do see it myself, and that is that while Bitcoin was rallying here, it was below our 50 simple moving average, and right when we got above it, that's when all hell broke loose and Bitcoin started kicking off. You can kind of see Bitcoin was petering along sideways until it got above that red moving average, and then it started moving to the upside. Well, guys, guess what Bitcoin did yesterday? That's right, it's testing that red moving average. If Bitcoin can get above this and maybe rally up to like $8,000 or even like $7,500, that's going to be the exact same thing that happened in 2015 following the exact same pattern. So far, everything lines up. So far, everything looks very similar, but there's more. Let's keep going. In the history of Bitcoin, I have gone ahead and drawn every single golden and death cross that has ever happened in the entire history of Bitcoin, and you can see they're all kind of jumbled up on screen right here. And I've also added in whether or not they were fake outs, because there have been a few. If we look throughout history here, we can see every once in a while there's a death cross or a golden cross. At this point in history, there was a death cross, then we had a golden cross / F. That's a golden cross fake out. We saw a golden cross, but it didn't result in anything. It was a fake out. Then we saw a death cross here. We saw a golden cross fake out here. Notice this on the second top right here, there's a golden cross fake out right here, and following that, there was the bull market. Next, we see the only fake death cross in the history of the market. Moving on, we see the death cross that resulted in the 2018 bull market. We see our golden cross that resulted in the 2019 rally. And then what do we see? We see top two with another girlfriend pattern. That is very interesting, because what follows that is a death cross, and we don't really know if it's a fake out yet or not. If it's a real death cross, we would expect Bitcoin to trend to the downside for the next 3 or 4 months. If it's a fake out, that means it'll only be the second fake out in history, and it will fulfill the exact same pattern that we saw happen in 2015. There was one top, there was a second top, there was a golden cross fake out, followed by a death cross fake out, followed by a golden cross, followed by what? Oh, you know, just one of the biggest bull markets in Bitcoin in the last 10 years. So essentially what this theory states is that if we have a golden cross in the next couple of months, we're following the exact same pattern that we did in 2015 that led up to the 2016 and 17 bull market. And by the way, guys, there's something else I need to add to this. Notice these blue lines on the chart. Well, you notice they're somewhat equally spaced out. Those represent the 3 halving events that have happened in the history of Bitcoin. 2 of them so far, 1 of them next month. We saw one of them happen over here in 2012, another one happen in 2016, and we're seeing the next one come on about the 11th of May this year. Well, if you'll notice something, where did we see both of these golden cross, death cross, fake out patterns come into play? The first one happened about 6 months before the halving, a little bit before the halving. The next one is happening right now. These are the only 2 times that we have ever seen a pattern like this play out in the history of Bitcoin on this time frame. The last one started a bull market. This one, I think, might be predicting one as well. Here is the caveat. Bitcoin has only ever had 1 death cross fake out in its entire history. It's one of the reasons that we take death crosses so seriously. Golden crosses have fake outs a little bit more often, but they're still very reliable. This G question mark I have right here, that's the $64 million question. Are we going to have a golden cross in the next month or 2 right around that time of the halving? Because if we do, it means that we followed the exact same pattern that we saw that led to the 2015, 16, 17 bull market to the T. We saw one top, a second top that was a golden cross fake out, followed by a death cross fake out, followed by a true golden cross, followed by the halving. And guys, remember the old saying, markets will often rhyme, but they will rarely repeat. There's going to be a few differences in this. For example, the last time this happened, it happened nearly a year before the halving. This is happening right around the time of the halving. Right now, there's a huge global crisis going on. There was not one previously. There are differences, there are caveats, there are things to take into consideration, but in general, they look very similar, and frankly, they both look like setup patterns, especially when you take this last point into consideration. What does a bear flag look like? Well, if we were to go ahead and draw a bear flag with our trend lines, we would say the market rallies to the upside, right? Then we're going to trend to the downside a little bit, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rally about as far as the previous market. That's essentially what a bear flag is going to look like. A bull flag will be in the opposite direction, something like that. I've been thinking about this for about 6 months, and I never actually mentioned it, but what does this market that we've been in for the last year look like? Well, quite frankly, to me, guys, it kind of looks like a massive bear flag sitting on the flagpole that was this rally, which means that you would expect us to blast off to like $20,000 or wherever. We didn't see that same kind of market structure play out in 2014 and 15 where we saw a massive rally and then pull back for a year like we have this time, but I still find it interesting. Remember, markets rhyme, but they normally don't repeat. The question that we have on our minds right now is Bitcoin going to rally back up to the 200 daily simple moving average up here around like $8,000 or so and inevitably drag that 50 MA back up to the 200, causing a golden cross within the next 2 to 3 months as the halving is taking place. And this is my final point. As the halving is taking place, the cost of mining doubles because the block reward is cut in half from 12.5 to 6.25, and the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin rallies because of that we can see in the stock to the flow chart, which I'll show you right now. We saw the bull market start. Bitcoin traded sideways for a little while. The halving came through, and then we started moving. A lot of people think, oh, the bull market was like 2 years long, but if you look at it, actually, a lot of this period right here after we had actually confirmed the bull market, most of this for about 6 months. This was not a short time. This was November through May. This was sideways trading, and then we had a bit of a rally, and then the halving came through, and we pulled back. This right here does not really look like what we would consider a bull market, just rallying until the end of time. That started halfway through 2016 after the halving. Bitcoin started making higher highs and higher lows consistently. Well, perhaps that's exactly what we're doing, guys. We're going through the same pattern that we did last time. We're waiting for the halving to start. We're waiting for the stock to flow ratio to increase Bitcoin's underlying intrinsic value from around $8,500 up to 100 grand within a year because of the halving, and then the bull market will start. We've been waiting for the halving since I was in high school, okay? The last halving happened before pretty much every single YouTuber in the crypto space you watch was around. Many of us weren't even in the space during the last halving. This will be the first halving I've seen, and I've been here for 3 years, working in the market every day. There's almost 1,000 videos on this channel. Do you understand how long it's been? The last time this happened, it resulted in a 1,000x gain. Bitcoin rallied from around like $600 to $800 to $20,000. That's actually a 2,000% return. Before that, it was like a 60,000% return. It was stupid. This time is going to be no different. There's a very good reason to believe that a 500 or 1,000x return is coming in the next little while, not even to mention altcoins. I find this pattern that Eddie pointed out to be very interesting because I think Bitcoin has been waiting to go in a bull market, lying dormant for the last nearly 2 years, waiting for the halving event, waiting for some kind of fundamental growth to happen in Bitcoin, waiting for just a catalyst. And maybe we just got it because we see the same pattern that we did in 2015. We see the halvings coming in the same way that kicked off the last bull market. And my final point is this. We are seeing a crisis on the global stage, the likes of which we have never seen before. And that has been part of the thing that has driven Bitcoin's price to the downside. But remember this. What's going on in the real world right now is a fundamental problem for our banking system, for our financial institutions, for everything we call the modern world. But it's not a fundamental change to Bitcoin. Nothing fundamentally has changed for Bitcoin except that we are going to have more trust after this because one, Bitcoin weathered the storm that everybody was saying, okay, well, what's Bitcoin going to do when a massive economic turmoil comes around? It's done pretty well. It's done pretty well. You can't deny it. Bitcoin, factually, it's simply a fact. It's not my opinion. Stats are going to prove it. The chart proves it. Bitcoin has done well through all of this compared to just about everything else except for gold. Far outperformed stocks. Just wait a little while and you'll see it's probably going to have outperformed real estate also. Not only have we built trust in the name of Bitcoin, we've also highlighted through all of this economic turmoil, all of this geopolitical nonsense going on in the real world right now. This pandemic has highlighted many of the cracks in our financial systems, and Bitcoin has been designed to fix those. Bitcoin has been designed with those flaws in mind of printing money out of thin air, of central banks, of centralization. The list goes on of problems of unelected officials making decisions on behalf of people that never elected them to make those decisions and we never voted on in the first place. That's something else. Bitcoin is far more democratic than the current democracies we live in because if you're a miner, you get to vote. I don't remember voting on the $2.2 trillion stimulus stimulus package and like doubling our debt in the next 20 years. I don't remember voting for that personally, and we live in a democracy. We live in a republic. I know. Don't tell me that. I know. I understand. It's a joke. The point I'm trying to make is that the chart lines up, the fundamentals line up, the halving lines up, and frankly, I think the interest in the space lines up. I think there's going to be a lot of interest going into Bitcoin following all of this. People are going to say, wow, I do not trust the current financial institutions. I do not trust the stock market as much as I used to. I do not trust putting all of my money in stocks. I want to diversify a little bit. I want to put 5% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. Imagine if everybody put 5% of their retirement in Bitcoin, 1% of their retirement in Bitcoin. We'd be trading at $500,000. Bitcoin is still so undervalued, it's ridiculous. If you've lost faith in the space, you are not seeing the bigger picture here. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. Tell me what you think about this pattern that Eddie pointed out. Make sure to give Eddie praise in the comment section down below. That was an astute observation, and if you guys ever have anything like that for me again, make sure to let me know. I love making videos on this, and you'll get a shout out also if you are interested in that kind of thing, and you're a raging narcissist like I am. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, I can sit here for a few days and rant about how screwed up the global banking system is and how much I love Bitcoin. I'm not going to do that, though, but I am going to go ahead and mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Awesome segue right there, huh? If you want to know how to do your own technical analysis like you just saw in this video and everything we do on the channel, I highly encourage you checking out the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, linked in the description down below. In CT2A, you're going to get access to over 11 hours and 35 videos that are high quality, well edited, well structured, that cover absolutely everything you need to know about technical analysis. We start with the introductory stuff if you were a noob, because there are a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space. They join a course or they start learning TA, and everybody's talking about really advanced concepts, and the people that are newer they don't understand the foundations. You need the foundations. There's a reason that you learn how to walk before you learn how to run. Unless you were me, I learned how to run first, but that's beside the point. For those of you guys who are green and noobs in the space and you want to learn how to be awesome, then you're going to need the foundations. That's what's in the introductory section here. Depth charts, stop limits, support and resistance, candlestick, Heikin-Ashi, CoinMarketCap, Binance, TradingView, all of that and more here in the introductory section. We've also got our technical indicator section, which covers all of the technical indicators we will be using in the course. I'm going to be adding TD sequential to this in a little while, by the way. And then we come down to the technical analysis portion of the course, where we use all of those foundations that we built to start building on our theory of technical analysis and how to actually read the charts and thereby profit from them. 2 of these videos have just been updated. Risk and Reward and a Game of Statistics and Probabilities are now new videos. Those are high quality, well edited. They're really awesome. I'm very much excited about them. And there's some more videos that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks, a few more coming out tomorrow. If you're already in CT2A, you get access to all current and all future videos. If you're in the course right now, you get access to those. Go check them out. There's a lot of new stuff in those videos that you guys will get a lot of enjoyment out of, I think. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. Yes, we do accept Bitcoin payments, as you can see with the sign behind me. And like I just said, someone asked this in the comment section, so I'll go ahead and make a point about it here at the end of the video. When you join CT2A, you get access to all current and all future content. There is no second payment. You join CT2A, you're in the course for life. 1 payment, you're good, done. That's all you do. I'm not going to charge you twice. My name is not EA. I don't do DLC. My name's Jeb. Nice to meet you. But guys, like I always say, I want to make one last point here. And also, by the way, just thank you for watching the videos through the end. I really appreciate it when you guys watch through. CT2A is what allows us to continue making these videos every day. So it means a lot to me that you guys watch this. I appreciate it. I know it's like salesy and everything. I get that. That's why I put it at the end of the video, so you already get all your content. You can click off if you want. But I do appreciate when you guys watch through. That's why I like giving you guys little rewards at the end. But one last thing I want to say is that if you're interested in CT2A, I encourage you can click the link in the description down below and you can watch our TradingView video. It's free. It's a preview, so you'll get an idea of what the course is like. But you can also join our Discord server down below and go talk to some of our actual students. You're more than welcome to email me if you have any questions. But if you want God's honest testimony and you know for sure that this dude on the internet isn't making up false statements or something, which I don't do, but you can't trust anyone nowadays. If you don't trust me, which frankly you might not have a reason to, then you can join the Discord server down below and you can go and talk to some of our students in private. You can say in the main chat, hey, is anybody in CT2A? Can I get your take on this? I'm curious what the course is like. I'm curious, did you like it? Was it worth your money? Go and talk to some of our students in private. Don't take my word for it. I want you to go and talk to our students and see what they have to say. I have full faith and confidence in the product that we've delivered to our students, and I'm very proud of what we've built here. And I also want to thank you guys for helping to do so. Shout out once again to Eddie for giving us the idea for today's video. And also, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, what I want to do to reward you guys and also to get ideas is I want you to tell me your favorite kind of coffee in the comment section down below. Because I need to start drinking some more interesting coffee. I want to be a coffee connoisseur, I just want to have like a little wine glass full of coffee and just chug it back. You know, I got some friends that are coffee fanatics. Taylor actually knows a lot about coffee, so maybe she'll leave a comment down there. Also, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Taylor. Join the conversation, please. Anyway, guys, tell me your favorite coffee in the comment section down below. I'm interested to find out what it is. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, if you did, hit that like and subscribe button. It does help out the channel when you do that. Thanks for watching to the end. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Before I go, though, I do first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good